Our next patient is a German Wirehaired Pointer, 2.5 years old. About 3 to 4 months ago, he started showing recurring lameness in the front left leg, especially after physical exertion. About 4 weeks ago, he also began limping on the front right leg. He is a working dog, a hunting dog, and the owner wants to use him optimally without causing excessive wear. For this reason, he was brought to us for evaluation. When we observe his gait, we notice a typical movement for this breed in the hind limbs, slightly wide-legged with a minor pelvic twist, but still flexible. In the forelimbs, we observe that he walks somewhat toe-in, especially on the front left side. You can see that the axis of the forelimbs forms a bow-legged stance, particularly noticeable at the left elbow, resulting in an asymmetry. In the sitting position, it is immediately noticeable that he shifts his weight to the right. The right hind limb is extended backward, while the left forelimb carries less weight. Additionally, when he sits calmly, observing the symmetry along the longitudinal axis, the dog appears bent. The left shoulder point is rotated inward, and the entire shoulder mass appears stretched outward. This becomes even more evident when we correct his posture. In the side view, the right forelimb shows a normal flexion-extension pattern, while the flexion of the left side is good, but the extension appears slightly restricted. During a left turn, the pressure falls on the left forelimb, which describes a shorter radius. Even in the sitting position, you can see again that the left forelimb is relieved and retracted into a flexed position, while the weight is shifted to the right side. It is also noticeable that the left shoulder point is again rotated inward. In the final examination, we observe a right turn. Here, the pressure now falls on the right forelimb, which also describes a smaller radius. The entire gait appears less fluid. Interestingly, the right forelimb now shows a flexion. The right hind limb shows slight abduction and is extended forward, while the left forelimb again rotates inward. This asymmetry becomes clearer when we draw a vertical line through the dog's body. The right forelimb flexes properly, while the left appears less rounded and symmetrical. We observe a flattening of the left scapula and internal rotation, with the left forelimb extended far forward and the elbow rotated outward. These observations were repeated during dynamic movement, specifically in the trot, to provoke a stronger reaction. Here, a smooth movement pattern is observed. It is interesting to note that both forelimbs appear somewhat more harmonious and rounded when we draw a vertical symmetry line through the dog again. However, the right shoulder continues to move forward for relief, while the left remains slightly retracted. The bow-legged stance of the elbow is less noticeable, but the left shoulder point continues to rotate inward.